Wow. A hand ready to hit may cause you great trouble. A man in a passion rides a mad horse. A quarrelsome man has no good neighbors. Anger is short madness. Anger is often more hurtful than the injury that caused it. Anger is one that is short of danger. Clouds gather before a storm. Don't get your back up. Exaggeration is strength that has lost its temper. Fire in the heart sends smoke into the head. Hard words break no bones. If you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. If you kick a stone in anger, you will hurt your foot. Postpone today's anger until tomorrow. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky in the morning, shepherd take warning. The anger of a prudent never shows. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. If a small thing has the power to make you angry, does that not indicate something about your size? He who angers you conquers you. Anger ventilated often hurries towards forgiveness, and concealed often hardens into revenge. Where there is anger, there is always pain underneath. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Bitterness is like cancer. It eats upon the host, but anger is like fire. It burns it all clean. Speak when you are angry and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. It is wise to direct your anger towards problems, not people, to focus your energies on answers, not excuses. Never respond to an angry person with a fairy comeback. Even if he deserves it, don't allow his anger to become your anger. Learn this from me. Holding anger is a poison. It eats you from inside. We think that hitting is a weapon that attacks the person who harmed us, but hatred is a curved blade. And the harm we do to ourselves. Anger is never without a reason, but seldom with a good one. A quick temper will make a fool of you soon enough. You can't shake hands with a clenched fist. Beware of the fury of a patient man. Anger is a wind which blows out of the lamp of mind. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. A man can't eat anger for breakfast and sleep with it at night and not suffer damage to his soul. Anger makes you smaller, while forgiveness forces you to grow beyond what you are. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. The sharpest sword is a word spoken in wrath. Not the fastest horse can catch a sword word spoken in anger. Do not teach your children never to be angry. Teach them how to be angry. Sometimes when I'm angry, I have the right to be angry, but that doesn't give me the right to be cruel. At the core of all anger is a need that is not being fulfilled. Anger is a paralyzing emotion. You can't get anything done. Anger is a valid emotion. It is only bad when it takes control and makes you do things you don't want to do. Get mad, then get over it. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. Anger is what makes a clear mind seem clouded. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The more anger toward the past you carry in your heart, the less capable you are of loving in the present. It is the waste of energy to be angry with a man who behaves badly, just as it is to be angry with a car that won't go. Red is such an interesting color to correlate with emotion because it's on both ends of a spectrum. On one end, you have happiness, falling in love, infatuation with someone, passion, all that. On the other hand, you have got obsession, jealousy, danger, fear, anger, and frustration. If you are always angry or complaining, someday 24 hours is too much to stay put in. So I take the day hour by hour, moment by moment. I break the task, I challenge the fear into small, bite-sized places. I can handle a piece of fear, depression, anger, pain, sadness, loneliness, illness. I actually put my hands up to my face, one next to each eye, like blinders on. Some days 24 hours is too much to stay to put in. Speak when you're angry and you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret. I don't usually lose my temper, but if I get angry, it's true, I'm scary. A man who has never made a woman angry is a failure in life. Every day we have plenty of opportunities to get angry, stressed, offended, but what you are doing when you indulge these negative emotions is giving something outside yourself power over your happiness. You can choose to not let things upset you. For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. Did I offer peace today? Did I bring a smile to someone's face? Did I say words of healing? Did I get to my anger and resentment? Did I forgive? Did I love? These are the real questions. I must trust that the little bit of love that I sow now will bear many fruits here in this world and the life to come. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Never go to bed mad, stay up and fight. Not my daughter, you bitch. Angry people are not always wise. I'm awfully greedy. I want everything from life. I want to be a woman and a man, to have many friends and to have loneliness, to work much and write books, to travel, enjoy myself, to be selfish and to be unselfish. You see, it is difficult to get all which I want, and then when I do not succeed, I'm mad with anger. The best fighter is never angry. Bitterness is like cancer. It eats up the host, but anger is like fire. It burns it all clean. I want to commit the murder I was in prison for. Wow. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. I was angry with my friend. I told my rat did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my rat did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and then sunned it with my smiles, and its soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew day and night till it bore an apple bright, and my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine, and not into my garden stole. When the night had wheeled the pole, in the morning glad I see my foe out straight beneath the tree. A poison tree. If you try to get rid of fear and anger without knowing their meaning, they will grow stronger and return. That's called hypocrisy. You shunk-faced piece of... Wow. Humorous sayings. Man has his will, but woman has a way. Man's work is from sun to sun, woman's work is never done. Many complain of their memory, few of their judgment. Many foxes grow grey, but few grow good. Mary's mouth cost her nothing, but she never opens it, but at another's expense. Men are from earth, women are from earth. Deal with it. Middle age is when the broadness of the mind and narrowness of best change places. Mistakes will happen, others will be blamed. Most people aim at nothing in life and hit it with amazing accuracy. My idea of housework is to keep a room with a glance. Sweep a room with a glance. My mother had a great deal of trouble with me, but I think she enjoyed it. My neighbor was bitten by a stray rabbit dog. I went to see how he was and found him writing frantically on a piece of paper. I told him rabies could be cured and he didn't have to worry about a will. He said, well, what will? I'm making a list of the people I want to bite. My second favorite household chore is ironing. My first being hitting my head on the top of the bunk beds until I faint. Nepotism works, get on the right side. Never criticize him mentally. You have walked a mile in his shoes. That's way. When you criticize him, you're a mile ahead and you have his shoes. Never praise your cider or your horse. Never try to teach a pig to sing. It only frustrates you and really annoys the pig. No good deed goes unpunished. No husband has ever been shot doing the dishes. Now I have a sheep and a cow. Everybody bids me good morrow. Now hatred is by far the longest pleasure men love and has but hate pleasure. One good husband is worth two good wives, for the scarcer things are, the more they are valued. One of the advantages of being disorderly is that one is constantly making exciting discoveries. Only in America, if you fail as a person, you can always write a book. Opportunities always look better going than coming. Our old friends Gladys attended church services one particular Sunday. The sermon seemed to go on forever and many of the congregation fell asleep. After the service, to be social, she walked up to every sleepy-looking gentleman in an attempt to revive him from his stupor, extended her hand in greeting and said, "Hello, I'm Gladys Dutton." To which the gentleman replied, "You're not the only one." Out of all the things I've lost in life, I think I miss my mind the most. Patience is never more important than when you are on the verge of losing it. Patrick went to the doctor and received terrible news. "You're going to die within 24 hours, said the doctor. Patrick went home to Bridget, his wife, and told her the terrible news, and then asked her if they could make mad, passionate love at all that night, which the Brigade replied, "That's all right for you, Patrick, but I've got to get up and go to work in the morning." People ask you for criticism, but they only want praise. Poets have been mysteriously silent on the object of cheese. Poor Fauquier. Does he really think big emotions come from big words? Public money is like holy water. People help themselves. Quit smoking is easy. I've done it hundreds of times. Received as an email. Today is International Very Good Looking Damn Smart People Day. So please send this message to someone you think fits this description. Please do not send it back to me as I've already received it over 50,000 times and my inbox is jammed full. Removes the fatal egg by pleasure laid. Sacred crows make great hamburgers. She was often wrong but never in doubt. Someone who thinks logically provides a nice contrast to the real world. Speak not of my debts unless you mean to pay them. Speak the truth but leave immediately after. Speak when you are angry and you will make the best speech you'll ever regret. Stress is when you wake up screaming and you haven't even fallen asleep yet. Suppose have killed more than doctors have ever cured. Tact is an act of making a point without making an enemy. Take your wife to Sears and she will shop for a day. Take her to Walmart and she'll shop for a lifetime. Thank you for sending me a copy of your book. I'll waste no time reading it. The best thing about telling the truth is you don't have to remember what you said. The church is near, but the road is icy. The bar is far away, but I'll walk carefully. The difference between the Pope and your boss: the Pope only expects you to kiss his ring, unknown courtesy of Jack Shee. The difficult is done at once, the impossible takes a little longer. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. The golden age never was the present age. The good or the ill hap of a good or ill life is the good of ill choice of a good or ill wife. The hardest years is life for those between 10 and 70. The money is always greener in the other fellow's wallet. The older I get, the righter my parents were. The other line always moves faster than until you get in it. The poor have little, beggars none. The rich too much, enough no, not never. Innovation into your Vaheguru. Into your mind, but how to get the old ones out. The Sheikh's miracle of those of his own telling. The tongue offends and ears get the coughing. The trouble with being in a race is that even when you win, you are still a rat. There are more old drunkards than old doctors. There are no grace of vanity, there are only grace of ability in concealing it. There can't be another crisis this week. My schedule is completely full. There is nothing more stupid as an educated man if he get him of the thing he was educated in. There's no waste of time like making explanation. There's nothing wrong with you like reincarnation would cure. They never open their mouths without scratching, subtracting from the sum of the human knowledge. They never test. Who always drink, they always talk. Who never think. They who drink beer think beer. Things comes to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Those who in quarrels interpose must often wipe in bloody nose. 3 may keep a secret if 2 are dead. Time is one when you are having flies. It's against some men's principle to pay interest and seems against others' interest to pay principal. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Trust in Allah but tie their camel. Twice cut off and still too short. 2 little kids are in a hospital lying on a stretcher next to each other outside the operation room. The first kid leans over and asks, "What are you in here for?" Second kid says, "I'm here to get my tonsils out and I'm a little scared." The first kid says, "You have got nothing to worry about. I've had that done. When I was 4, they put you into sleep and when you wake up, they give you a lot of jello and ice cream. It's a breeze." The second kid then asks, "What are you here for?" Circumcision. "Wow, good luck, buddy. I had that done when I was born. Couldn't walk for a year." We develop language because of our deep need to complain. What the mullah says you must do. What he does you must not do. Whatever women must do, they must do twice as well as man to be thought half as good. Luckily, this is not difficult. What's the difference between the roast beef and the pea soup? Anyone can roast beef. When a pessimist has nothing to worry about, he worries about why he has nothing to worry about. When man and woman die, as poets sing, his heart the last part moves, her last the tongue. When mother ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. When we remember what we are all mad mysteries disappear and life stands explained. When we think we lead, we are most led. When you get it at the end of the rope, it's a knot and hang on. Tie a knot and hang on. While acquainting myself with a new elderly patient, I asked, how long have you been bedridden? After a look of complete confusion, she answered, why? Not for about 20 years when my husband was alive. Who was the one who put the needle in the haystack anyway? With the mouth one can ford the widest river. Humor is steady. Vain makes common proverb sings hilarious. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Note to intern, this works, but I'm not in love with it. Please revise and rewrite up 10 more for my approval. A scalded cat fears cold water and don't even think about putting Mr. Fluffers into the lukewarm bath because he'll claw your face. Make sure to feed him twice a day, but alternate the cans, mornings on the left cabinet, nights on the right. My right, yes, what else? I think that's it. If there is an emergency, just call us in Thailand anyway, using your own phone. If you shoot for the stars, you will hit the roof. Do not do that. Since we just repaired the roof and it was a 4-month ordeal, instead shoot for the roof and you will end up hitting the first floor. We sublet that to another tenant, so it's fine. We don't ever like him. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. All right, that's it for our cardiac surgery unit. Let's move on to the neurosurgery. The way to a man's brain is also through his stomach. Pretty much anywhere you'll be doing surgery, they are going to want to go through the stomach, except for gastrointestinal surgery, go through the upper spine, getting the lower spine. Truth is more valuable if it takes you a few years to find it. There is no shame, it is in not knowing. The shame lies in not finding out. Coffee and love taste best when hot. The pain is mighty than the sword, fall 7 times. Stand up 8. If you can't live longer, live deeper. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Turn your face toward the sun and the shadows fall behind you. Some men go through a forest, see no firewood. The tree with most leaves will not necessarily produce juicy fruit. Begin to weave and God will give you thread. A bird does not sing because it has no answer. An answer it sings because it has this song. Even though you know 1,000 things, ask a man who knows the one. Those who wish to sing always sing a finer song. It's not enough to learn how to ride. You must also learn how to fall. Hunger is felt by a slave and hunger is felt by a king. The work praises a man. A mother understands what a child does not say. If you can walk, you can dance. If you can talk, you can sing. Cheese, wine, and friends must be old to be good. The best candle is understanding. Even from a foe, a man may learn wisdom. Sometimes unpleasant or difficult situation can teach us the most important lesson about ourselves and about life. Don't close yourself off from knowledge just because you don't appreciate the source of the information. Proverbs are the palm oil with which words are eaten. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, together. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half a sorrow. Words should be weighed, not counted. If you can't live longer, live deeper. Do good and throw it in the sea. Where love reigns, the impossible may be attained. It is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. A man who uses force is afraid of reasoning, as still waters don't tame. He who does not travel does not know the value of men. The night rinses what the day has soaked. Measure 1,000 times and cut once. A spoon does not know the taste of the soup, nor a learned fool a taste of wisdom. The most beautiful fig may contain a worm. Change yourself and fortune will change. In love there is always one who kisses and the one who offers a jade. Evil enters like a needle and spreads like an oak tree. Who begins too much accomplishes little. Whoever gossips to you will gossip about you. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Don't sail out farther than you can row back. There is no shame in not knowing. The shame lies in not finding out. In a battle between elephants, the ants get squashed. If you take big paces, you leave big spaces. Before you score, you must first have a goal. Good advice is often annoying, bad advice never is. Give a man a fish and you feed him a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him a lifetime. Do not rejoice at my grave, for when mine is old, yours will be new. When you see in yourself is what you see in the world. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Examine what is not, who speaks. Two wrongs don't make a right. A large chair does not make a king. Instruction in youth is like engraving in stone. Deep doubts, deep wisdom, small doubts, small wisdom. A man does not seek his luck, luck seeks his man. A teacher is better than two books. A beautiful thing is never perfect. A reputation of 1,000 years may be determined by the conduct of an hour. Character is always corrected by prosperity. A fall confessed is fall half redressed. To be willing is only half the task. Everyone is needed out of the same door, but not baked in the same oven. The heart that loves is always young. He who always thinks it is too often soon is sure to come too late. Turn your face to the sun and the shadows will fall behind you. When the sun rises, it rises for everyone. No man can paddle two canoes at the same time. If you go to the donkey's house, don't talk about ears. Speak the truth, but leave immediately after. African Proverbs. A king's child is a slave elsewhere. What forgets the ox, but the tree that has been axed will never forget. It's no shame at all to work for money. A loose tooth will not rest until it's pulled out. He who digs too deep for a fish may come out with a snake. The path is made for walking. Russian proverbs: draw not your bow till your arrow is fixed. When the rich make war, it's the poor that lie. When the cat is up with the mice will play. Many hands make light work. Be swift to hear, slow to speak. Egyptian. We tell them it is a bull, they say milk it. Go far, you will be loved more. Do a good deed and throw it into the sea. Time never gets tired of running. Bulgarian, tell me who your friends are so that I can tell you who you are. The wolf has a thing neck because he does his job on his own. Measure thrice, cut once. Help yourself to help God help you. A proverb is a popular way saying, expressing a commodity held truth, the treasure of everyday wisdom. Sometimes we don't know who originated them, but they are nevertheless widely remembered and repeated. They often contain an insightful metaphor that make a point quickly and effectively. Here are some of the best. Where there's a will, there is a way. Nothing can stop you if you really want it. No pain, no gain. There's a price to pay for achievement in terms of effort, stress, setbacks, but no, it's worth it. Strike the iron while it is hot. After it starts to cool down, it's no longer malleable. It's too late. Don't miss your opportunity. Make hay while the sun shines. Too late when it's raining. Again, take the advantage of opportunity. No man is an island. If you're all connected, there's a little we can achieve on our own. We need to help in talents of others. A good laugh is a long sleep are the best two cures for anything. And iron sharpens iron, so if one person sharpens another, we learn about discussions and conflicts with the potential of empowering outcomes. A cheerful heart is a good medicine, but a cursed spirit dries up the bones. Happiness and fulfillment bring about less stress and therefore good health. Depression, quite the opposite. Those who conceal their sins do not prosper, but those who confess and renounce them find mercy. If you take responsibility for our wrongdoings and make amends, then we deserve forgiveness. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Arrogance will quickly lose you the support of others. A quick-tempered man does foolish things, and a crafty man is hated. We do better to respond mindfully than react in fear, but respond from our true, caring self, not the greedy and envious ego. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Practice what you preach is called integrity. The alternative is hypocrisy. It takes all kinds of people to make a world go round. We are each unique with something special to offer and completely complementary skills. A little truth helps a lie go down. Offering a clear-cut truth attracts attention, gives credibility, and effectively distracts from the rest of what's said. That then doesn't get scrutinized properly. Two wrongs don't make a right. When someone has done something bad to you, trying to get revenge will only make things worse. Treat others as you wish to be treated. You are you, deserving of respect and care, but doesn't that go the other way too? The pen is mightier than the sword. Trying to convince people with ideas and words is more effective than trying to force people to do what you want. When in Rome, do as the Romans. If you want to fit in, then behave like the others around you or not. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you keep quiet and wait patiently, chances no one's going to help you. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. The strong people don't give up when they come across challenges. Instead, they are inspired. They dig in and work even harder. No man is an art, and you can't live completely independently. Everyone needs help from other people, and fortune favors the bold. People who bravely go after what they want are more successful than people who try to live safely. A friend in need is a friend indeed. People who live in a glass house should not throw stones. Don't criticize other people if you're not perfect yourself, and even then, hope for the best but prepare for the worst. Things might go wrong, so be prepared. Better late than never. It's best to do something on time, but if you can't do it on time, do it late. Birds of a feather flock together. People who spend time with others who are similar to them. Forgiveness is the best revenge. Keep your friend close and your enemies close. If you have an enemy, pretend to be a friend with them instead of openly fighting with them. That way you can watch them carefully and figure out what they are planning. A picture is a worth of 1,000 words. Pictures convey emotions and messages better than written or spoken explanation. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Things that are offered for free often have a hidden cost. There's no place like home. Your own home is the most comfortable place to be. Discretion is a greater part of valor. Sometimes it's important to know when to get out instead of maybe getting hurt. Tell me I forget, show me I remember, involve me I understand. The early bird catches the worm. The first online gets the opportunities. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. If someone offers you a gift, just accept it. God helps those who help themselves. Don't just wait for good things to happen to you. Work hard to achieve your goals. You can always get what you want. Sometimes things don't work out, accept it. In a good book, the best is between the lines. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Keeping yourself clean is a sign of respect and caring, high values. I watch pot never boils. Time passes slowly when you're watching the clock. Better get on and do something else. Beggars can't be choosers. If you're asking for a favor from someone else, you would better accept what they give you. Actions speak louder than words. Just saying that you don't agree doesn't mean that much. Actually, getting on and doing it is much more meaningful. If I'm broken, don't fix it. Don't try to improve something that already works fairly well. You'll likely cause new problems. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice a skill a lot to become good at it. Too many cooks spoil the broth. When too many people try to lead and give their opinions, it can lead to chores. Chinese proverbs. If there is a light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. If there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. If there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. Easy come, easy go. When you receive money too easily, this is the inheriting it, you're likely not to value it and spend it too quickly. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. If someone's paying you or helping you out, best to be kind to them. All good things must come to an end. You can't keep having good luck or fun forever. Eventually it will stop. For every up there is a down. If you can't beat them, join them. Rather than trying to pursue someone else, it might be easier just to be like them. Easier, but not necessarily better in the long run. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Different people have different ideas about what's valuable. There's no time like the present. If you need to do something, don't wait until later. Do it now. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. People have very different tastes. The eyes are the window of the soul. Necessity is the mother of invention. When you're really desperate, you will come up with a creative solution of your problem. A penny saved is a penny earned. Saving money is effectively making money. Familiarity breeds contempt. When you are on someone for too long, you start taking their good points for granted and notice annoying things. Good things come to those who wait. Be patient. Eventually, things will turn around. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have a backup plan. Spread your risk. If you don't want anyone to find out, don't do it. Two heads are better than one. People have complementary skills and ideas. The grass is always greener on the other side of the hill. People tend to want whatever they don't have. Do unto others as you would have them do it to you, otherwise you are hypocrite. This is a golden rule. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. If one member of a team doesn't perform up to a standard, they can let everyone else down. Honesty is the best policy. To lie may seem easier, but it will come back to bite you. Absence makes the heart fonder, grow fonder. When you're separated, you remember the value of the things that you take for granted before. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can't force someone to accept your help. When there is no enemy within, the enemy outside cannot hurt you. Don't count the chickens before they hatch. Don't celebrate prematurely. Things may not work out quite as expected. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Best to do things yourself. If you need to control the quality of the results, a broken clock is right twice a day. A person who's not so clever can sometimes be correct by accident. A friend in need is a friend indeed. If someone helps you when you are in trouble, that person is a true friend. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. When a person knows a little bit, they may feel like an expert and then go on to making a mess of things. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. There may be a long path ahead, but the only way you can possibly achieve your goal is by getting down to it and making a start. A mere friend will agree with you, but a real friend will argue. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Being too single-minded can make you a big, boring person. Better safe than sorry. Best to take precautions than being reckless. Better the devil you know than the one you don't. Best to stick with someone familiar than an unknown quantity. At least you know what you're doing. Though that may prove short-sighted. Don't judge a man until you have walked a mile in his shoes. You may not understand another person, but if we haven't had the same experiences. Don't put the cart before the horse. Do the things in the appropriate order. Don't act prematurely. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. You shouldn't brag about your expertise if you can't do it well in practice. Don't throw out the baby with the bath water. Discovering between what's useful and not. Don't be too quick to throw everything out. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Good sleep and an early start into good with success. Every cloud has a silver lining. There's usually something good associated with any bad experience that you can make the most out of. Give a man a fish, he eats a day. Teach a man how to fish, he eats a lifetime. The best assistance is to help someone be self-sufficient. Haste makes best. When you try to work too quickly, you're more likely to make mistakes. Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. Hindsight is 2020. It's easy to be wise in retrospect, not so easy at the time. Who's talking the truth does not need a lot of words. Truth is usually simple if well understood. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Keep on trying to succeed even if you fail at first. Failure always occurs on the path of success. That's how we learn and improve. But on the other hand, there's no use in flogging a dead horse. When it's time to recognize there's no longer any hope. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Unhelpful criticism is no good for anyone. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. This is a saying, take a stand for what you think is right. Being neutral is not helpful at all. It's no use crying over spilled milk. It's done. Getting upset about it helps no one. Jack of all trades, master of none. Someone who has many different skills is not necessarily expert in any of them. Knowledge is power. It certainly helps. Lie down with dogs, wake up with fleas. If you associate with dishonest people, it won't do you any good at all. Look before you leap. Don't make a decision without considering it carefully. There's a contradictory proverb. He who hesitates is lost. Sometimes there is no choice. An immediate decision is essential. Haste makes best. Measure twice, cut once. Be aware. With some decisions, once enacted, it's too late to change your mind. Misery loves company. People who are depressed may prefer it if those around them share their feelings. Never put off until tomorrow what you can do today. If you have a job that you need to do, best to get on and do it now. Let it never arrive. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. When people get in power, their ego has a tendency to take over, resulting in mean, greedy, dishonest action. Rome wasn't built in a day. Be patient. Doing important work takes time. Slow and steady wins the race. Conserve your energy so you can keep going strong right through to the end. Still Waters 20. might be a whole lot more to somebody think than you would think. Strike while the iron is hot. When you have an opportunity, go for it. Who's talking? The truth does not need a lot of words. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Children tend to have similar qualities to their parents. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Simply wanting to do the right thing isn't enough. You have to do it. Actually do it, otherwise nothing is accomplished. The best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Of course, men appreciate good food, so do women, come to that. There's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity promotes a name. That name is then remembered and the bad part forgotten. Time is money. When wages have to be paid, and significant delays are caused. 2 is company, 3 is crowd. Harder to be intimate with the third person around. What goes around comes around. The result of your action returns to you eventually. What goes up must come down. Nothing can contribute to in one direction forever. Natural forces take over. Life is cyclic. You can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. To get what you want, be nice to people. Don't yell at them or be mean. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This is rather negative, that you can't have everything you want in life. Of course, if you have eaten your cake, you no longer have it. But there is not much point having a cake if you can't eat it, except perhaps to share. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Older people don't change their habits easily, but if they really want to, they can. And opposite proverb is, you are never too old to learn. You reap what you sow. Your actions have consequences. When you do good things, that's reflected back to you. When you do bad things, misfortune happens in return. Shake the hand before you plow the field. Agree terms and conditions before starting a job. Afterward, it's too late. Out of sight, out of mind. Hide it away, and hopefully no one will remember. Variety is the spice of life. Change and new tech activities make life unpredictable and interesting. The apparently conflicting proverb, don't change horses in midstreams, refers to making a change at an appropriate time when it's unsafe to do so. Conscious is the voice of the soul. Practice makes perfect. Of course, any new skill has to be a practice or it will be left behind. What you don't use, you lose. A stitch in time is fine. Repair something before your damage gets worse. Fools rush in where the engines fear to tread. A hasty action can't land you in deep waters, whereas further consideration might lead in a safer or better direction. I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. Don't be distracted by a possible obstacle that may or may not come about. All's well that ends well. Never mind all the difficulties, we arrive. Never in the month of Sundays. Highly unlikely to happen. Never judge a book by its cover. Appearance can be deceptive, and opposite proverb is clothes make the man, though again not necessarily. Famous proverbs. Slow and steady wins the race. Necessity is the mother of invention. Rome was not built in a day. Union is strength. More haste, less speed. Every cloud has a silver lining. Look before you leap. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Pride goes before the fall. Face in the index is the index of the mind. A friend in need is a friend indeed. A crying child gets milk. Well begun is half done. All's fair in love and war. To solution where we may feel that the usual rules do not apply. Fail or not, we will do what we have to. Getting out of bed is on the wrong side. Might be an unfortunate collision with a wall. A bad start to the day. By hook or by crook, one way or another, whatever it takes, cut your coat according to your cloth. Whatever you create will depend upon the resources of your using. Only try to do things of which you are capable. The tallest oak in the forest was once just a little nut that held its crown. Old is gold. The old ways are likely to be the best, not necessarily though, of course. Let the cat out of the bag. The secret is out. A problem shared is a problem half. Discuss your problems with someone, and then the two of you are more likely to come up with a solution. Empty vessel makes the most noise. People who talk a lot, not always so wise as they think. Great minds think alike. Thoughtful people tend to come up with a similar answer since they are both looking intelligently in the same type of situation. The best things come in small packages. Thinking of a small, of such as an engagement ring, perhaps, or babies. The bigger the better, perhaps not as wise. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. You see opportunities everywhere except where you are at present. Don't throw the baby out of with the bath water. Be careful not to throw away good things then when doing a clear cut out. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you help me, I'll help you. Beauty is only skin deep. There is more to a person than the superficial appearance. You make your bed, so you must lie in it. Be prepared to face the consequences of your actions. Never explain yourself to a friend who don't need it, and your enemies won't believe it. Bakers can't be choosers. A needy person should accept what's offered without being fussy. Once written, bitten, twice shy. From experience, we learn to avoid situations that cause trouble or distress. There's a black sheep in every family. One person in every family lets the other down. Two wrongs don't make it right. Something harmful done in revenge or punishment is no better than our original bad action. Blood is thicker than water. Family relationships are stronger than most others. However long the night, the dawn will pray. Half a loaf is better than none. Be grateful for what you receive. Better to be hungry than starving. A miss is as good as a mile. Not hitting the target gives you nothing at all. You can't make bricks without straw. You can't accomplish something without the necessary resources. There is none so blind as those who will not see. It's useless explaining to those who do not want to understand life purpose. The cost of starting over is being willing to let go. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hearts, but not you. Let others leave your future in someone else's hand, but not you. Trust yourself, and then you will know how to live. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose the sight of the shore. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one that has opened for us. Always right that will gratify some people and astonish the rest. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far from then our abilities. I'm not afraid I was born for this. Whatever you are willing to put up with is exactly what you will have. We are what we imagine. Our very existence consists in our imagination of ourselves. The greatest tragedy then that can befall us is to go unimagined. There's a fire inside, sit down beside it, watch the flames, the ancient flickering dance of yourself. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. I have always known that at last I would take this road, but yesterday I did not know that it would be today. There is no chance, no destiny, no fate that can circumvent or hinder or control the firm resolve of a determined soul. Everything that has a purpose is looked after. The building with a purpose is well cared for. The car with a purpose is well maintained. The garden with a purpose is free from weeds. So if you want to thrive, find your purpose and follow it until the very end of your life. Life is not discovery of fate, it is continuous creation of future through choices of thoughts, feelings, and actions in the present. You were born as original, don't die a copy. Is not life 100 times too short for us to stifle ourselves? It is only one real failure in life that is possible, and that is not to be true to the best one knows. The pen that writes your life story must be held in your own hand. Every choice before you represent the universe, inviting you to remember who you are and what you want. Men vary as much of not doing the things they want to do as of doing the things they do not want to do. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of the difficulties lie opportunity. Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion towards men, towards objective and things. To serve is beautiful, but only if it is done with joy and whole heart. Sooner or later, you're going to realize, just like I did, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. How do we keep our inner fire alive? Two things at minimum are needed: the ability to appreciate the positives in our life and the commitment to action. Let him who would enjoy a good future was not none of his present. The path to our destination is not always a straight one. We go down the strong road. We get lost, we turn back. Maybe it doesn't matter which road we embark on. Maybe what matters is that we embark. It takes great courage to faithfully follow what we know to be true. Our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. Great thoughts speak only to the thoughtful mind, but great actions speak to all mankind. There's a criterion by which you can judge whether the thoughts you are thinking or the things you are doing are right for you. The criterion is, have they brought you inner peace? Beautiful. In the tapestry of life, we are all connected. Each one of us is a gift to those around us, helping each other be who we are, weaving a perfect picture together. There is more to us than we know. If we can be made to see it, perhaps for the rest of our lives we will be unwilling to settle for less. For long familiarity, we know what honor is. It is what enables the individual to go right in the face of complacency and cowardice. It is what enables the soldier to die alone, the political prisoner to resist, the singer to sing a song hardly appreciated on the side of the street. We all live under the same sky, but we don't all have the same horizon. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. That the person in the lesson alone will have saved you a lot of grief. The time is always right to do what is right. Time is a coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and the only coin you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it for you. The goal of childhood is to become an individual. The goal of adulthood is to give that individuality away. The task of childhood is to separate. The task of adulthood is to connect. The best career advice to give the youngest: find out what you like doing best and get someone else to pay you for doing it. Our purpose is simple: to love each other, to love all life, to love our earth. The gem cannot be polished without friction or man without trials. Hands that serve are holy than lips that pray. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. You will recognize your own path when you come upon it, because you will suddenly have all the energy and imagination you'll ever need. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. The height of your accomplishment will equal the depth of your convictions. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be honorable, to be compassionate. It is, after all, the matter. To matter to want to stand for something, to have made difference, that you lived at all. Toil and risk are the price of glory, but it is the lovely thing to live with courage and die living an everlasting fame. To give real service, you must add something which cannot be brought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you must find out why. Dignity and respect has to do with your personal power to make a difference by being truly to be the best within you and letting that truth shine through your words and actions. When you're inspired by what great purpose, some extraordinary projects, all your thoughts break their bonds, your minds transcend limitations, your consciousness expand in every direction, and you find yourself in a new direct, great, wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive when you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. You will recognize your own path when you come upon it, because you will certainly have all the energy and imagination you'll ever need. Seek out that particular mental attribute which makes you feel most deeply and vitally alive, along with which comes the inner voice which says, this is the real me. And when you have found that attitude, follow it. When you see what you are here for, the world begins to mirror your purpose in a magical way. It's almost as if you suddenly find yourself on a stage in a play that was written expressively for you. We seek purpose when we are not in touch with it, who we really are. When an apple tree discovers who it is, the question, what must I do, disappears. When you discover who you are, the deepest place of your being, you will find your purpose. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life, and don't let noise of others' opinions drown you out. Your own inner voice Most people have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know that you truly want to become. Too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are. True happiness is not attained through self gratification but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds, your mind transits limitation, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents come alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. We seek purpose when we are not in touch with who we really are. When an apple tree discovers who it is, the question is, what must I do? Disappears. And then you discover who you are at the deepest place of your being. You will find your purpose. People who consider themselves victim of their circumstances will always remain victim unless they will develop a greater vision for their lives. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. I want to sing like the birds sing, not worrying about who hears and what they think. Love without action is meaningless, and action without love is irrelevant. Let yourself be silently drawn by a stronger pull of what you really love. Having a vision for your life allows you to live out of hope rather than out of fears. To understand the heart and the mind of a person, look not at what he has already achieved, but as what he aspires to do. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Beautiful. I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know, the only one among you who will be truly happy are those who have sought it upon heart to self. If you want to know the past, to know what has caused you, look at yourself in the present, for that is the past effect. If you want to know your future, then look at yourself in the present, for that is the cause of the future. All of life is a near-death experience. When we are born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. There's a time to let things happen and a time to make things happen. Life is what happens when you're making other plans. Circumstances does not make a man. Circumstance reveals a man to himself. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice, but for those who love, time is eternity. Truly loving another means letting go of all expectation. It means full acceptance, even celebration of another's personhood. It is not how much we do, but how much we love we put in the doing. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put in the giving. People take different roads seeking fulfillment and happiness. Just because they are not on your road doesn't mean they have gotten lost. We look forward to the time when the power of love will replace the power of power. Then will our world know the blessings of peace. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. I have come to believe that each of us has a personal calling that is as unique as a fingerprint, and the best way to succeed is to discover what you love and find a way to offer it to others in the form of service, working hard, and also allowing the energy of the universe to lead you. The purpose of life is not to fight against evil and misfortune, it is to unveil magnificence. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are for. One ship sails east and another west. By the time the wind that blow, it is the set of the sails and not the gales that tells the way we go. Like the wind of the sea are the waves of time as the journey along through life. It is the set of the soul that determines the goal, not the calm of the strife. It isn't true that everyone should follow the one path. Listen to your own truth. You often meet your destiny on the road you have taken to avoid it. Every positive change, every jump to a higher level of energy and awareness involves a rite of passage. Each time to ascend to a higher rung of the ladder to perform the evolution, we must go through a period of discomfort of initiation, and I've never found an exception. There's a vitality, a life force, and energy that is translated through you, and because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakes. Wisdom is knowing what path to take next. Integrity is taking it. You can't change the wind, but we can adjust the sail. If you do not design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and guess what? They have planned for you, not much. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for, it's a thing to be achieved. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. Everyone has a purpose in life, a unique gift, a special talent to give to others, and when we blend unique talent with services to others, we experience the ecstasy and exaltation of our own spirit, which is the ultimate good of all our goals. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Life is like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. Life has meaning only if you do what is meaningful to you. Destiny is no matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. Life is daring adventure, or it is nothing at all. There is no security in this life, there's only opportunity. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work, and when we no longer know which way to go, we have begun our real journey. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did. So throw off your bowline, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds, and your sails explore, dream, discover. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but it is too low and we reach it. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. The only limits to the possibilities of your life tomorrow are the buts that you use today. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bounds. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive when you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Courage is a love affair with the unknown. Nothing happens unless first a dream. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. From the standpoint of our daily life, however, there's one thing we do know: that man is here for the sake of other men. Man is not a being who stands still. He is being in the process of becoming. The more he inhabits himself to become, the more he fulfills his true mission. The person without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder. Your vision will become clear only when you look into the heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be honorable, and to be compassionate. It is, after all, to matter, to count, to stand for something that has made some difference. Then you have lived it all. He who wishes to do a great deal of good at once will never do anything. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The best way of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologize, no excuses, no one to lean on, to rely on, or blame. The gift is yours. It's an amazing journey. All you alone are possible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. A man is ethical only when life as such is sacred to him. That of plants and animals is that of his fellow men, and when he devotes himself helpfully to all life that is in need of help. It is never too late to become what you might have been. I have found kind of serenity and new maturity. I didn't feel better or stronger than anyone else.